For those of you who wish to opt to saw, and you will probably need to saw, this is a scroll saw. It's quite safe, and you'll see the power switch is here. The speed is left to high, low to high. I insist you stay low. You don't need to speed this up. The blade is here. It always faces out. There's a guard here that will press your piece down to help you cut. The motion of sawing is pushing down and forward, down and forward. Before I begin, I'm going to loosen this knob, raise the guard, tighten the knob, set my piece underneath, lower the guard, tighten the guard, and that way the piece won't pop up, as you'll see. Turn it on, and I begin. Sometimes the plate will catch. It'll prevent you from going forward, so you'll have to loosen it slightly at the tightening knob and allow it to hop forward. If your fingers are on either side of your project or from behind, you will never get cut. There's no reason to be afraid if your fingers are to the left, to the right, or from behind the blade. If the blade is ever bent, as often happens when people force the saw, we'll remove it. To remove it, we have to unlock back here. We have to lift our finger underneath the plate and pop it out. And then we'll see, as we press down, the blade pops out. There's a tooth right there that hooks. Can you see it? That hooks here and underneath here. The blade has a pin at that end and at that end. The blade has a pin at this end and at this end, and that's how it's held together. When you need a new blade, ask Mr. Zisk. So you unplug your Dremel, you get your safety goggles, and you see Mr. Zisk for a Dremel carving tip. Glasses are on. To open the Dremel, you have to understand that it spins forever and ever unless you lock it. See the little lock button? So you hold it down until you feel it stop moving. That means it's locked. Lefty, loosey, lefty, counterclockwise, righty, tighty, clockwise. So lefty, loosey, righty, tighty. And you take any Dremel tip, such as this one. And if it doesn't fit, lefty, loosey, until it fits. And then righty tighty. Okay? And now it will spin forever, no problem. When it's time to remove the Dremel tip, same thing. You lock it till it doesn't move, lefty loosey. And out it comes. Lay the Dremel tip back in the case. So we play with scrap. This is just a piece of masonite, a whiteboard. You hold the Dremel up high with your thumb, like this, up high. And this way, your thumb is bracing beneath, and the Dremel cuts. Make sense? You always want to cut towards yourself. That's the cutting action. Away from the spin of the Dremel. If you want to cut more aggressively, you'll learn to use the halfway point of the Dremel or the top of the Dremel, and that will cut more away. But I discourage you from cutting too much at once. It will choke the Dremel, it'll be unsafe. You'll get more done if you do so gradually, using the edge, the bottom edge, or the top edge of the Dremel in halves. Watch. Dremel, when you're done, Dremel tip goes back in its case. Safety glasses go back on ledge. And please charge your Dremel as you unplugged it. You know it's charging when the light is green. It's a great example of engraving from a student named Josh. He cut this out, and with his engraving tools, he built an image in the wood directly. Another piece by a student named Subhan. He cut this all out. What should interest you looking at this, how did he cut out that middle? If you want a more advanced technique of cutting out from inside without cutting into it, let me know. Elon opted for a 3D form. Joining wood together to make walls and sides is a lot more complicated. That would be a second term project in the block. I'm really happy with what Ahmed did. He built this disc and he did a drawing traced from his Chromebook, and he transferred the drawing using a graphite rub. I will show you that technique if you want, so you have a really accurate engraving in wood. Kaylee did a phenomenal piece here, engraving